Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
I'm here with the church, and I am going to ask you a couple of questions about the Art at Night program.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Well, I did we did. Oh.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Art at Night was an after-school program that I attended in my school in Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts. On the first day, we got our notebooks and took off on our first field trip. We went from our school to a church in the neighborhood. Once we got there, we drew a church in our notebooks.
But this is just the start of our after-school program. The program is about abstract art, so from here, things get a little more complicated.
Abstract art is...
When I just think of it, I think it's kind of splatters and like weird things that you wouldn't normally see.
And you could change colors and do whatever you want with the art.
This story is called Coyote in the Tall Dune Grass.
Many artists came to visit us. The first one was Dwayne Slick from the Rhode Island School of Design. He told us some Coyote Sand stories.
Coyote got off into the dunes, and he found the place where this big dance was going. And he found the people. Coyote Sand stories are some stories that I made up and contemporary Native American poetry. And the first dance he did was the clam dance. What I wanted to borrow from or to utilize from Native culture was, first of all, the idea of oral tradition. In oral tradition, it's like, you don't have a number of material things. And the other thing is that I liked about it was that the materials themselves were so, in a sense, they're simple and also sort of ethereal.
Dropped out.
After the stories, we got a chance to make our own drawings with sand.
Can I please have your sand?
Is this abstract art?
Make it like this, so when you look it up, it goes like this, and then go like this. Trying to make me talk, kind of.
Yeah.
You don't look at something and try to draw it.
You start out drawing them, and you don't know what's gonna happen. You draw a line here, then there, then there, then here.
You just put something on paper, like make lines or shapes.
We're gonna come in one at a time.
Start with it, because I
Oye, huh? One at a time, right?
Ken Weno was another visiting artist. He showed us how to make music without musical instruments.
I was interested in presenting the idea that music can be performed with ordinary, daily household objects. I was very inspired by the work of Duchamp, and especially his urinal, and in advance of the broken arm, which was the rake. And that ordinary objects, when presented in an extraordinary context, creates art. It allows us to view these things in a different light for different potentials.
He also learned a computer program called Photoshop. Artist John Ruggieri is the director of the program. He showed us how to play with pictures so they become more abstract. Then we got a chance to take one of the pictures of the church and play around with it.
My favorite thing was poetry.
Poetry? Tell me why.
I wrote my feelings and I described what I see or what I feel. I imagine when I'm asleep, like my third eye can see anything, like the windows, my teddy bears, and all the stuff I have. My third eye is pretty cool. I would like to see it in the light. I would play with it in the night. My third eye could see a lot of neat things.
I want you to just write some more fragments, meaning sort of they don't have to be complete sentences, just...
Diane Fraser is a poet, and throughout the program she ran a poetry workshop.
Part of how I worked with the kids is that I would send them home with homework every week. And what they would have to do is be hunters, and they would have to hunt for sounds, images, and just interesting things that struck them. And they would just make a list during their week, and then they would come back to the classroom, and we'd write from that list. They'd use them in poems.
I cite books. I see ice cream with polka dots. I ate an ice machine.
I wanted the kids to move away from what they probably know, which is more narrative poetry. I wanted them to be freed up of having to explain themselves and to really enjoy what they were doing.
I see seafood in an ice machine.
My poem rhymes of things what I hear, and this is how it starts. Birds are singing, bells are ringing, slickery sounds coming from cars, disasters making their calls. People reading out loud, are many people joining the scouts. I feel concentrations, I hear radiations.
Abstract art is when you're not planning to really draw anything exact and you're just doodling, kind of.
I like abstract art because you don't have to do a detailed thing. You can just splatter and it can still be art.
Hey, do you know when you take a photo, the camera takes the picture very fast, instantly?
Yeah.
It's instantaneous. Well, these pictures are different. These are taken over time. I took a pen light, and then I would hold my hand out like this, and then I took the flashlight, and then I just sort of traced around my hand. Well, I did flashlight photography many years ago. I entered graduate school doing that kind of work. And they seemed to grasp the technique pretty quickly because they almost interpreted the flashlight like a laser beam, so they would have laser beams shooting out of each other and stuff like that. Whenever you take a regular photograph, the aperture
or the camera lens opens in the instant of a second. But what we do is we slow that down and we leave the camera open until after we've made our picture, and then we shut the camera down. And then you draw using a flashlight. So you're actually kind of like painting with light.
What do you think of when you think of the word community? What does community mean?
It means like helping out like your neighborhood and like nature.
I think it means something like people, like I've heard it before, but I'm not sure if I know what it means.
Like a group of people.
It's what?
It's like a group of people that help do something.
One of the last things we did was build a church. The church was made from the pictures of the church that we helped to take. Then we projected some of our own images onto our church. Some of us got a little carried away.
It's like when a group of people, like Travis said, get together and they like they draw things that come to their mind or something.
When a whole bunch of people get together and they do art, or either like it's like a museum for arts and everybody's welcome.
After all that work, we did a big show at the church during Jamaica Plain Open Studios weekend.